Welcome back to the channel. Big news is breaking from Kensington Palace, and it marks a serious turning point for the royal family. Two of the monarchy's biggest stars are finally stepping back into the spotlight after disappearing into their summer hideaway. Yes, we're talking about none other than Princess Catherine and Prince William, the future king and queen. Their every move sparks global buzz, and now their return to royal duties is being treated like a headline event. Before we dive into the secrets of their next engagement and what it really means for the monarchy, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe. You don't want to miss any of these royal bombshells. This moment comes as summer winds down and autumn creeps in, a seasonal shift that always pulls the royals out of hiding. For generations, Balmoral Castle in the Scottish Highlands has been their sacred retreat, a fortress of privacy packed with family history and whispered traditions. Every year, the royals vanish behind its gates for weeks, away from the cameras, away from the chaos. This year was no different. King Charles himself presided over Balmoral, surrounding himself with the next generation of power, Prince William and his devoted wife, Catherine. But here's where it gets interesting. Insiders say these weeks weren't just about long walks and tea by the fire, but also about strategy. Whispers of serious talks around the future of the crown are already swirling. Behind the calm and serene backdrop, the family was quietly preparing for the storm of duty, headlines, and scrutiny that's about to come crashing down on them. Balmoral has always been the royals' secret battery charger, a place to hide from flashing cameras, sip tea, and pretend the weight of the crown doesn't exist. Every so often, little snippets leak out. Cozy family dinners, long walks, and even the king and queen sneaking in some musical entertainment late into the night. Just days ago, Buckingham Palace tried to soften the royal image by releasing cheerful updates about Charles and Camilla's summer nights at Balmoral, painting them as a relaxed, laughing couple away from all the drama. But that calm bubble has officially burst. Kensington Palace just dropped a major announcement. Princess Catherine and Prince William are officially back to business, and their first public engagement after weeks of vanishing from the public eye is loaded with symbolism. Their comeback is set to spotlight the one thing they've clung to as part of their brand: the environment and the next generation's future. Later this week, the Prince and Princess of Wales will make their way to London's iconic Natural History Museum. This isn't just some stiff photo op. Behind the glossy smiles and handshakes, this visit is aimed at sending a powerful message. William and Catherine will personally tour the museum's completely redeveloped gardens, a project tied to biodiversity and climate awareness, but also, some say, a calculated move to remind the world they are the modern royals, ready to lead the crown into an eco-conscious future. What makes it even more intriguing is the focus. Not polished dignitaries, but the youth. The entire engagement is built around encouraging young people to get closer to the natural world. Some insiders are whispering that the palace sees this as a reset moment, a chance to rebuild their image through children, nature, and education, a softer stage before the inevitable harder headlines return. In today's world of glass towers and crowded city streets, connecting kids to nature has become one of the hardest challenges, and that's exactly the spotlight of this royal outing. The first whispers of the event didn't come from the palace directly, but from royal insider Rebecca English. On September 1st, she hit X, the platform once known as Twitter, and dropped the news that William and Catherine were set to make their big return at the Natural History Museum. Her post laid it all out. On September 4th, the Princess of Wales, who just so happens to be a proud patron of the museum, would appear alongside Prince William to walk through the newly redeveloped gardens and spend time with children and young people locked into hands-on environmental learning programs. Translation: the palace is betting on kids to soften the image of the royals, because what's more powerful than a future queen planting seeds of change with tomorrow's generation? But this isn't just another polite meet and greet. The whole engagement ties directly into the National Education Nature Park, a massive project that's trying to weave environmental awareness right into the national curriculum. That means the kids Catherine and William will be chatting with aren't just props. They're test cases for a brand new way of shaping society. Behind the polished photos, the royals will be gathering intel, seeing firsthand how these lessons actually land with young people. Will they walk away inspired? Or will it look like another staged palace PR move? Either way, Catherine's personal stamp on the museum and her growing role as a green royal means this appearance is being framed as more than just symbolic. It's a chance to prove she has the influence to shape the future in real time. This upcoming visit isn't just about smiling for cameras with school kids, it's tied to something much bigger. The newly redesigned gardens at the Natural History Museum, along with the wider National Education Nature Park, are part of what's being branded as the urban nature movement. And make no mistake, this is one of the boldest pushes the royals have hitched themselves to in years. The campaign is built on two massive goals. First, it's about giving ordinary people the confidence that they can fight for the environment, even when the problems feel way too big to handle. It's the palace trying to flip fear into action, arming the public with knowledge, tools, and a sense of power. Second, it's about building a future where green spaces survive and even thrive inside our overcrowded concrete cities. A pretty daring dream, but one that's meant to spark excitement, especially among the younger generation. Princess Catherine's connection here isn't just casual. She's been patron of the Natural History Museum for years, and her backing gives this project serious star power. People listen when she speaks about nature, and the museum knows it. Her involvement has pulled fresh eyes and fresh donors toward their conservation efforts. And then, of course, there's Prince William. His environmental reputation has been stamped worldwide through the Earthshot Prize, the high-stakes award he created to hunt down innovative solutions to save the planet. Together, the couple is trying to craft an image of being the eco-royals, balancing royal glamour with global responsibility. But here's the unspoken truth. The pressure is on them to make it look real, not staged, because the world has grown tired of royal promises without results. When William and Catherine walk through the Natural History Museum this week, it's not just another outing on the royal calendar, it's being sold as a power move. Their joint appearance is designed to look like a perfect merging of their passions. Catherine's long-running commitment to conservation and William's global push through his Earthshot Prize. Together, they're projecting an image of a future king and queen not afraid to get their hands dirty on the issues shaping the planet. The timing of this announcement, though, raises eyebrows. Kensington Palace dropped the news only hours after Buckingham Palace had been busy pumping out cheerful updates about Charles and Camilla laughing it up at Balmoral. Coincidence? Some say it looks like a deliberate PR handoff. The older royals showing off their personal downtime, then the younger royals swooping in with a back-to-work storyline. It's continuity packaged neatly, a baton-passing moment for public consumption. But beneath the polished messaging, the symbolism is clear. This isn't just the royals returning from holiday, it's a carefully staged signal of priorities. By spotlighting children, education, and urban biodiversity, William and Catherine are saying, this is where they want the monarchy's voice to be heard. They're framing themselves as modern, socially aware royals who stand for more than pomp and protocol. The stakes are high. Every smile, every handshake, every photo in those museum gardens will be dissected as proof that the heirs to the throne can lead with relevance. Their presence doesn't just highlight these causes, it forces a national conversation. But not everyone is buying into the polished narrative. The moment Kensington Palace confirmed the visit, social media lit up with mixed reactions. Supporters praised Catherine for keeping her focus on education and conservation, calling her a natural role model. But critics were quick to drag the announcement as another carefully staged PR stunt, arguing that the royals always seem to lean on green causes when they need a safe storyline. Some commentators pointed out the suspicious timing, right after the King and Queen's Balmoral updates, almost as if the palace wanted to shift headlines back onto the younger royals. Others raised the question of impact. Are these garden tours and photo ops really changing anything, or are they just adding another glossy chapter to the royal image? One post even joked, "How many trees can you actually save with a smile and a handshake?" And here's where it gets even more interesting. Whispers around the palace suggest that this outing is as much about Catherine's visibility as it is about the environment. Insiders claim there's been growing pressure to push her into the spotlight after months of speculation about her health and absence earlier this year. By tying her return to something wholesome and universally supported, the palace seems to be betting that Catherine will come across as the steady, future queen the public wants to see. Meanwhile, William's Earthshot Prize is looming in the background, and critics are already comparing whether Catherine's museum appearance will overshadow or complement his global project. Either way, their joint appearance is being framed as a reset moment. The media frenzy didn't stop at just covering the museum visit. It quickly turned into a royal comparison game. Some outlets framed William and Catherine's eco-themed outing as a clever contrast to Charles and Camilla's Balmoral escapades, suggesting that the younger royals were subtly proving they can balance family life with duty better than the current monarchs. Headlines practically wrote themselves. The future king and queen step up while Charles plays the fiddle in Scotland. But that wasn't the only comparison making noise. Across social media, people were quick to drag Meghan and Harry into the conversation too. For months, the Sussexes have been pushing their own environmental messaging from California, yet critics accused them of turning everything into personal branding. Now, commentators are claiming William and Catherine's museum visit is the royal family's way of reclaiming the green narrative, planting the flag back in London and making sure the spotlight shifts away from Montecito. The most dramatic take, that this was Catherine's quiet power play. Observers pointed out how much of the announcement highlighted her patronage of the museum, not just William's earthshot credentials. Some even suggested this was a calculated move to re-establish her dominance in the public eye after months of questions surrounding her role. She's back, and she's not playing second fiddle, one royal watcher declared online. For Catherine, this engagement is being framed as more than just another royal duty. It's her comeback stage. After months of hushed speculation, online rumours, and endless debates about her health and visibility, stepping back into the public arena alongside William sends a loud message. She's ready to reclaim her place as the crown's strongest asset. Palace insiders reportedly see this as the perfect reset. The Natural History Museum is safe territory for her, a place she's deeply connected to as patron, where she can shine without the shadow of scandal or political drama. Surrounded by children, educators, and a project that screams positivity, Catherine's role becomes crystal clear. She's the warm, approachable, and purposeful future queen the public can trust. But here's the twist. While supporters gush over her elegance and dedication, critics argue this comeback was carefully staged to silence questions rather than address them. Some royal commentators whispered that Catherine's absence earlier this year had left a vacuum that fueled endless speculation, and now the palace is desperate to fill that gap with a picture-perfect narrative. One headline even teased, "Catherine returns." But is it real or royal PR magic? Still, it's undeniable that her presence has impact. Every step she takes, every smile caught on camera, instantly dominates coverage. In fact, some observers believe this museum visit could mark the beginning of a new chapter where Catherine takes on a more commanding role in shaping the monarchy's future, not just as William's partner, but as the driving force behind the royal image itself. While Catherine's return is stealing plenty of headlines, William isn't fading quietly into the background, far from it. His Earthshot prize remains one of the boldest royal projects in decades, a global competition with millions of pounds backing innovative climate solutions. Insiders say he views it as his legacy project, something that will define him long before the crown ever lands on his head. That's why this joint museum appearance is being watched so closely. It's not just about royal unity, it's about balance. William can't afford to look like he's playing second to Catherine's soaring public image, but at the same time, he knows her charisma is the palace's strongest weapon. Observers have noted how carefully their roles were divided in the announcement. Catherine, the patron tied to the museum, and William, the international figure pushing Earthshot. 2 lanes, 1 message. The royals are serious about the planet, yet even here, whispers of rivalry slip through. Some commentators claim William's advisors worry that Catherine's popularity could eclipse his initiatives, especially as global coverage tends to frame her as the relatable royal while branding him the stiff statesman. Others argue that the couple's strength is in that contrast. She wins the hearts, he builds the policies. Still, the timing couldn't be more critical. With Charles's health constantly under quiet scrutiny and Camilla struggling to connect with the younger generation, William knows every move counts. His eco-leadership isn't just about saving the planet. It's about proving he can step into the role of king with vision, authority, and the ability to capture global attention just as much as Catherine does. Of course, not everyone is clapping for the so-called eco-royals. The backlash started the moment the palace dropped the announcement. Critics were quick to point out the irony. William and Catherine pushing urban biodiversity while jetting around in helicopters and private planes whenever it suits them. One columnist snapped, "How can you lecture kids on saving the planet when your carbon footprint is bigger than a small town's?" Others accused the couple of leaning on safe, fluffy causes to avoid addressing the deeper cracks in the monarchy. Climate change and education sound noble, but some say it's a distraction tactic, steering the conversation away from scandals, family feuds, and questions about the monarchy's future relevance. On social media, the divide was sharp. Loyal fans praising their leadership and skeptics mocking the outing as nothing more than PR in the park. The international press added fuel to the fire. In the US, commentators compared Catherine and William's eco-tour to Meghan and Harry's high-profile speeches in New York, framing it as a quiet competition for who controls the global sustainability spotlight. Meanwhile, in Europe, papers ran features questioning whether the British royals had the credibility to be climate leaders at all. Yet despite the noise, one truth stands out. Every appearance by William and Catherine dominates headlines, no matter how critical. Love them or roll your eyes, they command attention, and the palace knows it, which is exactly why this museum visit was chosen so strategically. The question isn't whether people are watching, it's whether they'll believe in the message or simply see through it as another royal performance dressed up in green. So here we are, Catherine and William stepping back into the spotlight after their Balmoral break, and the stage they've chosen couldn't be more symbolic. By making their first move at the Natural History Museum's redeveloped gardens, they've tied themselves directly to the causes of climate, conservation, and the education of the next generation. It's a powerful message. The future king and queen want to be seen not just as heirs to the throne, but as leaders for a greener tomorrow. Their focus on urban biodiversity and children's environmental education highlights exactly where they believe the monarchy's relevance lies in today's world. But the bigger question is, do people buy into it? Are William and Catherine truly building a legacy rooted in modern issues? Or is this just another polished palace performance dressed up as progress? Either way, this engagement marks the start of an autumn season that will test how far their influence can really go. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think this focus on children, nature, and climate is exactly what the monarchy needs right now? Or do you see it as staged PR? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters here. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Join us for the next royal update. You won't want to miss what's coming next.